Well, good morning, everybody. It is the last Monday in January 2023. My name's Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio. Again, January 30th, 2023. We have a lovely show for you today. With the show we've been trying to get together for a little while now. I met Kim Cosklo last year. I think it was early December. Okay, and she was doing a show with me with my good friends over at Izzit.org. And she is a CTE instructor, career technical education instructor. She's lead teacher at the Susquehanna in Pennsylvania. Susquehanna County Career and Technology Center in Springville, PA. Okay, she's a cosmetology instructor, she's also the lead teacher there. And also she's president of the Pennsylvania Association for Career and Technical Education. So I couldn't wait to get her back on. I think one day the weather broke down. The other day one of us forgot to do the show. It just got to be crazy. So she's on the line. I think hopefully she brought a student with her. We'll find out in just a second. And we'll talk all about CTE in Pennsylvania, focusing over on Susquehanna County Career and Technology Center, which is a really nice school. And find out what's doing cosmetology. I can talk today. Cosmetology education as well as CTE. Get some great thoughts from Kim. We're going to archive the show over at ace-ed.org. That's our American Consortium for Equity in Education. Go over there, our magazine, Equity and Access over there. We'll have a new issue up at the end of the week. We've got everything about SEL today, social emotional learning, teacherretention.com. It's all linked, plus every podcast is over there. Let me just cough here for 1 second. There you go. Okay. Let me bring on Kim. Kim, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
We did it. We finally did it.
We did. Last time there was something with the sound. You could hear me, but I couldn't hear you.
That's what it was.
We had that
Thank you. Right.
snow day mix up. Yes. So it was. Yes, we've had some technical difficulties, but we're all good today.
Perseverance pays off. That's all I can tell you. It's a pleasure to have you. I have to ask, do you have a student with you?
I do have some students. Krista,
yes.
Will you find Shelby for me? Yes, I'm going to get her on. I'm going to get her here right now. They're just coming in. Will you tell Shelby to come here? Thank you. I saw her walk by.
Star.
She is. She was the chosen one today. Mm-hmm.
So how many kids do you have in the classroom right now, Kim?
Right now they're just starting to arrive, so we have about 18. When they're all here by 9:30, I'll have about 38.
Wow, so what happens between, it's 9 o'clock in the morning now, what happens between 9 and 9:30?
So they start their practical tasks. So when they come in, since we only have them for like a 45-minute window when they're all here at the same time, that's when we usually do our theory lesson. So we'll do like a journal entry. We'll do like a little class discussion. They have a weekly theory assignment that we review. We do PowerPoints. All the basic, theory assignments, just like in a regular classroom. And then when they get here, they also have like a practical task sheet for the week, so they can start that. And then there's another instructor with me. We'll demo, the safety and sanitation, the procedure, the setup, all of that, and they practice. Here's Shelby right now. Hold on.
Hi, Shelby. I'm Larry. Shelby, can you hear me?
Hello.
Shelby, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. Hi, Shelby. I'm Larry, and I'm up in here in Maine. I just waved to you, but you can't see me because we're on radio. Okay, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. How was your weekend?
It was a long weekend. Kind of wish that I could have done a little more.
Yeah, well, I just relax and enjoy it. You're in Pennsylvania, so I must ask, are you an Eagles fan?
No, I honestly don't pay attention to sports. That's for my other part of my family.
We're going to have to talk about that before this half hour is up, I got to tell you, because the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. I'm from Philadelphia originally, so I feel this. Can Kim hear me too, your teacher?
I don't know. Just me.
Put her back on. I'm going to get back to you in just a second. I'm so glad you're here, Shelby, though. We're going to get back to you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, you're back. She's sweet. Okay. But she's not. Yep. I asked her if she was an Eagles fan. You were in Pennsylvania, for goodness sakes.
Oh, yes. I did watch the game. My husband's an Eagles fan. I have my husband's an Eagles fan, and then my sister-in-law is a big Steelers fan. But my daughter and I watched the game. Yes, yes. My daughter and I did watch the game yesterday. The Eagles game was kind of boring because it was a shutout, but the second game, the Bengals and Kansas City,
Chiefs.
That was a good game. That was close.
Yeah, it's going to be a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. I got to tell you, it wasn't a shutout, by the way. Yesterday was close, but it wasn't actually. Okay?
Okay.
The 49ers did score. But we'll get into that in a few minutes.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true.
I can ask you, this is a I keep saying this one, cosmetology class, right? You're teaching?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is it all girls?
No, it is open to male and female. We're very diverse, so we're very open and accepting to all students, and we teach them. It is a licensed profession, so it's a little different. Some career opportunities, they can come here and then they can get a job immediately after. We do offer certifications, but this one is a little different because just like healthcare, it is a licensed profession. So in order for them to actually obtain a position and a job in this field, they do have to pass a state board. So every state is a little different. Our students would take the Pennsylvania State Board of Cosmetology exam to get a license, and then they can work in a salon. We train them for a cosmetology license because our students are normally here for 3 years. Shelby's a little different because she's a senior, and she comes from Ascending School who sends them 1 year but all day. So she's a full-time student with me.
Wow.
She's here in the morning and the afternoon. She does lunch here. Yes. So some of the schedule.
Go ahead. Finish up. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. I was going to ask. And I don't know a lot about cosmetology. I just know it's cosmetics.
Actually, hold on one second, because I'm going to try to put you on speaker, and I'm going to. Okay, here we go. This way Shelby can hear exactly what's going on.
Can everybody hear me? Shelby?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Okay, good. Cool.
Okay.
Now I got to ask this question: how much of the time? And this first, I've got several questions. How much of the time is spent really understanding cosmetics and the chemical composition and all that sort of stuff and all that, or is it mostly the aesthetics of it? Okay, how it's going to look, okay, on someone, including, I guess, nails and all that sort of stuff. Okay, and I'm just curious, Kim, why don't you start that answer?
Yes, so it's a combination. It is a lot of hands-on learning. It's obviously they have to understand the practical aspects of it in order to perform it in the salon.
Yeah.
But in order to do it competently and ethically, they have to understand the theory behind it. So we do have a chemistry chapter. We have an electricity chapter. We have an anatomy and physiology chapter. We have like all of the diseases and disorder chapters on nails, skin, hair, trichology, how the hair grows. So there is a lot of theory behind the actual tasks that do get performed. So when you go to a salon to either get a haircut or to get a facial or to get a manicure, you're seeing just the task side of it, the hands-on side of it. But in order for, the more competent your stylist is and the better services that you can get come from the education that they have received and a strong background in the knowledge of why we're doing what we're doing when we do the hands-on part of it.
And when the kids graduate, or I know when you talk about this, they graduate your course. I assume it's when they graduate high school. I'm not sure of that. But then, can they just go immediately and take the Pennsylvania State Board? What's the procedure?
So when they complete their hours, in Pennsylvania it's a 1,250-hour course, 1,250 hours. So they have to, and they usually obtain that over 3 years, or in Shelby's case, she'll do that in 1 year because she's here all day long. So attendance is very important.
And she's Supergirl.
She is. She's amazing. She's our rock star. Yeah. But attendance is very important because they need to have those 1,250 hours. So once they have those completed, then we do we help them apply online for their paperwork, and they get what's like a temporary license, which is good for 9 months. So once they have all of their paperwork submitted, they have to pass a background check. There's some things that they have to do, a checklist. They have their hours complete. They will get a temporary license. So they can actually start working in a salon. They can work up to 9 months with the temporary license. So that gives them up to 9 months to take and pass their state board exam. Then once they pass the state board board exam, they get their actual license, which is good. They don't have to retest, but they do have to renew it biannually. So every 2 years they have to pay a fee and renew their license.
Right. How hard is it to pass the test? Is it a hard test?
It is. There's some state law questions on there. There's some general knowledge. There's a lot of bacteriology and sanitation. So it is. Wow. There's some websites that we give them. There's practice test books that we give them. It's not an easy. I wouldn't say it's an easy test. And then the limited licenses are even harder. So we have an adult program here as well, separate from the high school program. But the adults have the choice to come for what's called a limited license. So if they just wanted to be a nail tech, they would come for 200 hours. But that's a harder class or a harder test to pass because all the questions are, just geared towards nail techs. And then there's an esthetician, which is a skincare license. They can get a natural hair braiding license. There's a lot of different things that they can. There's different limited licenses. Natural hair braider, the nail tech, the esthetician, and then if they have a cosmetology license, they can come back to get a teacher's license and be a certified cosmetology instructor.
Well, actually, that's really, excuse me, my throat. That's really interesting. What's your background in all this?
So I went to a career and technical center when I was in high school. So I graduated, and then I went to Empire Beauty School, and that's where I did my training for my teacher's license. So way back, I'm going to date myself here back. In 1994, I graduated high school with my cosmetology license.
You're a baby.
And then in 1995, I graduated with my cosmetology instructor's license. So I was a licensed cosmetology instructor. But then I opened my own salon. I worked in a salon, then opened my own salon, and I didn't start teaching until about 10 years later. I was a substitute teacher. I taught a night nail class, and then I landed where I'm at now at the Career Center here in Susquehanna County in 2005 was my first year that I started teaching here. So I waited a good 10 years before I even used my cosmetology instructor's license, but it was nice to have had the classes and all of that out of the way, had the license, and then I just started teaching.
But now you're in if I may, a public school, okay?
Yes,
and I think you're the lead teacher, if I have this correctly, at Susquehanna County CTE Center.
When I started here, I had to get because I am in a public school, I had to have my Pennsylvania teaching certificate. So I actually hold a vocational 2 certificate, which is equivalent to a like the academic side, the instructional 2 certificate. And I did that through Temple University.
Oh, you did? That's where my wife went. Wow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cool. Did you go down there at night, or did you take it over?
We did. So they tailor it especially for career teachers. So there were some classes, like my general ed classes that I needed, I could take locally. I did a lot in the summer. The ones that I had to do in person, I did those through the summer. And then we would do a lot of where we could just go once a week. We would drive down Ambler. There was an Ambler off-site campus.
My wife went to Temple Ambler. I know Temple Ambler.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. So I did that. Like once a week, we would go down there for class. So it took a while. It took me almost, I'd say a good 6 years. To complete all of my credits and my certifications, but I do hold that vocational 2 degree, which, like I said, is equivalent to, and I had to pass a praxis. I had to take the reading and writing praxis. I had to take the math praxis. So
this is it's very impressive, and what I find interesting, I hope your students are listening. You started off as one thing, okay, like the kids are doing right now, like Shelby's going to do, become a cosmetologist. Okay, that's what's on their mind, and that's the goal right now. But it's amazing how it leads you to a degree in education and a job, and now president of the association in Pennsylvania for career technical education. It's an astounding little roadmap.
Exactly. It wasn't a path that I had planned out when I was in high school. I just thought, well, I'm going to get as much as I can, go as high as I can with my education while I can. And then I worked, and I owned my own salon. And then I just decided I had such a good experience when I was in high school, at my career center that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try this. So I actually worked when I first started teaching. I worked for the center that I graduated from. So that's where I started teaching. I was a substitute during the day.
Wow.
I actually worked with my instructor. She was still teaching at the time. She's now since retired, but she was still teaching at the time. So I was subbing for her and the other instructor that were there, and then I was teaching a night nail class 3 nights a week. That's how I got my experience teaching. And then this position opened up full time, so I decided to apply, and I ended up becoming the teacher here.
And you've said this phrase a couple of times. What is a night mail class? I'm trying to figure out what that one is.
I'm sorry.
What does that
night
mean?
nail tech. So I taught nail technology. I taught the limited license.
Nail.
For
nail. I thought you were saying M-A-L-E. Mail. I'm thinking,
Nope,
you must be teaching guys, you know?
Nope, N-A-I-L. N-A-I-L. So I taught the night nail tech class. That's how I started out. That's where I got my experience.
Night nail class. I got it. So let me swing over to Shelby. Shelby, you going to graduate this year?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations to you. It's going to be fun. What do you hope to do when you get out of school?
Well, I'm looking into job opportunities just so I can get some more money raised up over the summer, and then I plan on coming back.
Then what?
What was that?
Well, I said it's a smart move to go out and make money. That's always nice to have some money to spend. But so you're going to. So then what happens? What do you do with all this that you've learned?
I plan on coming back next year to get my teacher's license.
Wow. And then what? Keep going. I'm loving this.
And then I'm going to try and find a place I can settle down for a bit and just start working around to make a path for myself, if you will.
I love it. I think that's great. Do you hope someday to be a teacher, or do you hope someday to open a salon, or what do you hope to do? Or maybe just use this stuff for yourself and marry the richest guy in town. What do you want to do?
That's funny to think about. I don't know if I want to own my own salon, but I do, if anything, plan on going for a 2-year business degree in case the opportunity does come around where I can own my own salon. I'm more or less looking for something close by just to work for a little bit, and then when time comes, if need be, I can always come back to teach here. Mm-hmm. This is a place I really enjoy being, and it's a great opportunity for kids to learn.
It is. It's a great opportunity, and teaching in Pennsylvania is a pretty darn good thing to do. You know, how much of your time, is spent in this kind of a course, Shelby, as opposed to the standard high school stuff, science, math, English, social studies, gym, whatever the heck it is? How much of the time at the school is devoted to the cosmetology versus all the other stuff?
Well, as an all-day student, I can put all of my time and effort into my work and get ahead in my tasks and my theory work and just make up all of that time I've missed. The 3-year students have a little advantage on you when you first come for your first year, but the coursework is easy when you have teachers to help you along the way. And overall, if you're here, you're interested in what you're doing, so work's easy to go by, and it just comes naturally, if you will.
I like that, and that's the way education should be. It should come naturally to people. You should enjoy what you're learning. So let me ask that question another way, okay? Of your day, and this is what I don't know about your schedule. How much of your day, as a full-time student at the CTE Center, the CT Center, how much of your time is spent in the cosmetology classes as opposed to the standard high school type class?
I'm working on cosmetology all day. We only have a 30-minute break for lunch. The rest of the time, you're doing tasks or you're doing your theory work.
But all in cosmetology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she comes in the morning.
What about when do you learn? I'm asking this seriously. When do you learn English and social studies and science and that sort of stuff?
Last year, my school has its built-in program for 11th grade that they put you on a special schedule so you can make up all your credits. I don't worry about math, science, social studies, English, nothing at all. Focus centered on cosmetology this year.
Wow, that's cool. And what prompted you into that, which I think is really cool?
Ironically enough, I wasn't supposed to start here at the beginning of the year. I was supposed to be a healthcare student. I came for a visit last year, and the environment was just welcoming, and it kind of changed over the summer. So my last visit here was a shadow for classes, and I shadowed healthcare that day, and I shadowed cosmetology that day. And just after being in the environment, something just changed, and I went to the counselor here, and I said, hey, is there a way I can change to cosmetology instead of healthcare?
And she said?
She gave me the okay.
Yeah, and she should, because you should follow your dreams, kiddo. Okay, you got plenty of time to do whatever you want, but if you love it. So, all that said, how do you like cosmetology?
It's a blast, honestly. Every day there's something new. The memories are there to last, and the teachers and the people just make the experience so much better.
Oh man, that is a compliment. I got to tell you, that really is. And I want to ask you a question. In the cosmetology, are there any guys in the class?
We had one at the beginning of the year, but I think they get pushed away more or less because when you stereotypically think as a group of girls, you'd be more interested into that. But I hope someday that there are more guys in the school, considering that you don't need to be a girl to learn how to take care of yourself and to take care of others, make you feel nice. It's something for everyone.
Well, I tell you, you are a real ambassador for cosmetology and career tech education. And you know, it's interesting. There are just some professions that shake out female or male. And one of the things that like cosmetology, all right, and like dental hygienists, you never see a male dental hygienist. At least I never have. Okay, in all the years I've been going to dentists, and it just shakes out that way. You get the things are exactly. It used to be that only women became hair designers. Okay, and now it's everybody. You know, it's just amazing. And boy, you were on the cusp of something really good because you get it. You got this planned out. This is a stepping stone to whatever you want to do. Okay, and you're learning a lot and you're enjoying it. Thanks, Shelby. You're terrific. I wish you the best of luck. You're terrific.
Thank you very much.
You're perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks for being a good kid.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Put Miss Cosklo back on.
I'm right here. Now you see
there
why
you go. She's something. Wait, I'll tell you hear that, what she just said, and that's exactly what the way it's supposed to be. Okay? Where you engage these kids in what interests them and they can see a future and see a future where they can grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. I was very impressed with all that.
It's amazing, and that's why I advocate so much for career and technical education, because it's truly hands-on learning where they can see the relevance. I mean, we're bridging that gap between school and the future. And I think a lot of times with the traditional education, you get so caught up in just letting them, get through high school. Let's just get them through high school. Let's let them graduate. But then what are they going into? They're not really prepared for a future. So we don't look at it as like, let's just get them through. We look at it as let's prepare them for their future. Whether she does this or not, whether she just uses
exactly.
this to pay for college, at least she has a trait. She has a skill that's a lifelong learning skill that, she could do something with. She can, go down the road. She might teach. Maybe she'll decide she likes to teach and go into and become an academic teacher. So there's a lot of possibilities for Shelby, just like the possibilities are endless for so many students that choose career and technical education.
Yeah, she could also become a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, whatever the heck she wants to do, because all the stuff she's learning.
She can become a dermatologist.
It all matters. It all matters, and the kids are. She said it best. The kids really are engaged in what they're doing. They're there because they want to be there. And they want to learn, and this stuff is important. It's a great way to be educated. I mean, it's just a great way to be educated. What are you hearing? And you're president of the Pennsylvania Association of CTE Teachers. Okay, what are you hearing across the board, CTE and PA? What are you hearing?
We're headed in a positive direction. I think part of that is due to the stigma is being changed, that CTE is not a negative thing. CTE is not a dumping ground. CTE, I mean, especially now with you try to get a plumber, in the dead of winter when your heat system goes. Take your car, to the mechanic. If you need something welded, there's so many possibilities. There's so many especially with college being as expensive as it is now, and then you're getting out and you're having a hard time finding a job that will even help to pay back your college loans. So I think people are realizing that the trades is not a bad thing. The trades are a good thing to have.
Oh, trades are a good thing.
Yes, there's a lot of money to be made with certifications that you can earn and immediately start working right after high school.
Well, I'll tell you, public schools lost track of what you just said, which I agree with you. They lost track of this for a while, and I still say they're not on the right track. They still have that phrase that says, and I don't mean to put down higher education at all, hear me out here, that always says college and career ready. And my attitude is you should drop the college words. It's just getting people career ready. If they choose to go to college, that's their business. Okay, they want to become obviously a doctor, they're going to have to go to college. Okay, you want to become a teacher, you're going to have to go to college. All right, and you did later. But we need the tradespeople. It's getting a career that engages you. And we're paying the price for all this now because what you just said, good service people, great technicians, carpenters, plumbers, mechanics, welders, whatever, we're short of them. Okay, because the emphasis was put in the wrong place, and they made kids who didn't want to do that feel like, oh, well, maybe I'm not as smart. Well, they are as smart. They just have a different choice. Okay, and that's the value of CTE. Okay, and I'll tell you, when I was a kid, Kim, you know this, it used to be vocational education, and there was a stigma attached to that, as you well know. Okay, and it's not there anymore. Okay, and that's the beauty of what you're doing with CTE. Okay, it's making a difference out there. You would agree, correct?
Yes, totally, because when I decided, I went to a Catholic school, I went to private school. So when I decided that I was going to go to CTE, that my guidance counselors were like, are you crazy? Like, no, you're going to college. I'm like, no. Yeah. I was half of my class, and they were like, no, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I want to do this. And so I understand totally about that stigma because I, experienced it when I tried to go. Welcome. Shelby had a great experience now, and that just tells you how much it's changed. She was able to tour. She was able to decide that, okay, she started out maybe thinking about healthcare, then changed her mind, and everyone was okay with it. Back in my day, it was a different story. It was like, oh, no, that's not where you want to go. You're going to go to college. That's for kids that aren't going to go to college. So it's definitely coming around. I think Mike Rowe has helped tremendously with his dirty job.
Good point.
Yes. And just different stigmas and how it's changing. People are seeing that, if you doctors that drive BMWs, I mean, it's not cheap to get that fixed. And our students are the ones that are going to be working on those BMWs. So
I have one, and I can attest to that. Believe me, I can attest to that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they break down every other day.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I hate it.
But yes, I just think it's a different world now, and it's a good thing. I think we're going in the right direction.
You're in the right place, and I know that the Pennsylvania Association appreciates you being their spokesman and doing the hard work you do. And I got to say this to you: your class, if Shelby's an example, and I have a feeling she is, your class really appreciates the work you're doing. That's nice, and they really like it.
Well, I think that it comes down to this. I love what I do, and I think we come in every day, and, not everybody's going to have a good day every day, but we fake it until we make it, and we just have fun. We're learning, and we're having fun. It's funny, we're doing pedicures right now. That's our thing. So a lot of the students are squeamish, but I do have some fake feet that we could practice on themselves. So so we've got some fake little feet. I wish you could see them. They're with their little toes painted. So we're practicing that. If they're a little squeamish before they touch someone else's feet, we do have little plastic feet that they practice on.
I don't blame them, but it's all part and part of the deal. That's all there is to it. And I do go to a salon for a pedicure. Everybody in class, you hear that? I do actually go. Okay, so I know what you're going through. Okay, and be happy you don't touch my feet. There you go.
We're actually open to the public one day a week, so our students, Shelby in particular,
I wish I lived closer. I'd save you my feet.
Yes, our seniors and our adult, like our all-day students, they actually work on the public on Thursday. So clinic clients come in for every service, hair services, nail services, skincare services, and it's our students doing the work. So they're learning.
And there's a lot of people who need that service, okay? And some of them can't afford it now at high prices. So the fact that the gang is doing that is really extra wonderful. Not only for them, it's for everybody they're working on. I think it's great.
Exactly, and it's our way to give back. It's our way to give back to the community. So our community is paying taxes, whether they have a student in school or not. So this is one way that we give back to them. Their tax dollars are actually getting them something. So if they come to us, it's the cost of materials only. We have a full-service restaurant that's also open to the public, so they can get it. They could do takeout. Our auto body program is open, so they could have their car service if they need an oil change. And again, everything that we do here is just the cost of materials.
That is terrific. I got to tell you, it's a great school, and you're the lead teacher over there, Susquehanna County Career and Technology Center in Springville, PA. You're doing a hell of a job there, Kim. I got to tell you, it's just great. Thank you for being here today. We finally got it together, and I am thrilled we did. What a great conversation. Thanks, Kim.
It was. Thank you so much for having us.
Believe me, my pleasure. And just keep up the good work. And kids, all of you, best of luck to you. Thank you all for doing what you do.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Wow, that was a nice show. That's Kim Cosklo, okay? And again, Springville, PA. But this is, I'm such a big fan of CTE. I just think it's so important, and I hope that was obvious. All right? And, it's really an equity thing. We've been pushing kids into college for so many years, which is so expensive. And it's just so important for them to understand how valuable they are. If they don't choose college but go on to a different type of profession. Okay? And I just think it's just great. We're going to archive the show at ace-ed.org. And again, I want to thank my friends over at Izzit.org, Izzit. It's some great materials for you over there, free resources in civics and ELA, etc. And that's where I met Kim. Okay, so please check it all out at Izzit.org. I'm Larry Jacobs. See what we do at ace-ed.org. And thank you so much for listening.